Hello, welcome to another Gundam Operation 2 video. That is the new suit, the Gustav Karl. And sorry if I sound a little bit tired. I just got done doing the limited mission suits, limited missions. See, you can tell how tired I am already. For the Haikushiki Kai mass production type. And yeah, I've been playing a lot of matches. And I got two matches here for you right now for the Gustav Karl. This first match is going to be a 650 City Ruins rating, and we're playing with some lower rating players, so there's going to be some suit choices I haven't seen in a while, and it's kind of a breath of fresh air, to be honest. And the next match is going to be a 700 rating match on Arctic Pace, and instead of it being a showcase of how good I am with the suit, it's more to more of a showcase on how much of a brick shithouse the Gustav Karl is. And what do I mean by that? Well, we'll get into it. Starting off with the stats, I did mention this is a 650, I didn't say it was a general, but it's a 650 general, there you go, now you know. And you have 25,000 health right off the bat. You have 32 ballistic and 39 beam resistance. You have 15 melee resistance, 13 range strength, 33 melee strength, 120 movement speed, 220 boost speed, 75 thruster gauge, and 66 turning speed. First of all here, 32 ballistic and 39 beam resistance. That's very tanky. Just right off the bat. I mean, for actually no, not even typical like 650. Like 39 beam resistance is pretty high. I think that's one of the highest just base beam resistance stat out of most suits, right? So yeah, you had 39, and you just add one little beam part on, and hey, now you're over 40, which is typical for a lot of people that want to build a defensive build. They always have over 40, right? Which is the build I'm rocking for both of these matches. I have over 40 beam and over 40 melee resistance, which this thing has 15 melee resistance. But because of the part slots and how already tanky this thing is, yeah, I went ahead and got rid of one of the downsides of this suit, you know, since it has low melee resistance. And yeah, now I am tanking absolutely everything I can, which is fantastic. The 13 range strength is also pretty low, but yeah, honestly, this suit is not one that you just want to spam only your range attacks with. This thing does have some good melee damage as well. And for builds, I already mentioned I'm using a defensive build. I still have some melee parts on as well. And you can see against some of these suits, it's still chunks. And it's not even a melee build. So you can do a melee build if you want and do some really just hardcore damage, especially against raids. I've also seen some other builds like thruster gauge builds, because this thing does have active guard, spoiler alert. So that can help with spamming active guard. And somebody suggested turning speed, because if you activate active guard and turn around, supposedly you can just tackle wherever your camera's looking. I haven't tried that out, and honestly I don't know if I want to waste slots for turning speed, but that sounds like a little fun meme idea, but kind of situational, but you know. It'd be worth trying out, because even if I fuck up the counter, I can still, you know, I still have enhanced tackle level 5, so I'll still do some kind of damage when I hit them. But yeah, definitely some builds you can do with this suit, and it's good stats so far. You know, just make sure you do something that melee resistance, unless you really want to rely on that active guard. Now we're on to the weapons here. Starting off with the primary weapons, you have the Jagan D-type bazooka. Say T-type? D-type bazooka with 2,300 damage, 5 rounds, and 300 range. And hey, if you haven't had the Jagan D-type bazooka yet, or you haven't gotten it yet, this is the suit to get, because it'll give it to you. And now you'll finally have it. I'm trying to remember if I have the Jagan D-type bazooka. I think I do. But hey, now I'm pretty sure I do, because I have this suit. And yeah, this is a ballistic stun weapon. And yeah, it's just a typical bazooka stun. It does have a lower AoE blast radius than a lot of other bazookas, but you know, it's still capable of doing some decent damage. Now, unfortunately, you don't have a high range stat. It is 13, So you're only going to be doing around the initial damage of this suit, or the original damage of this weapon, 2,300, somewhere around there, right? Which is unfortunate because, you know, ballistics are something people don't focus on too much at this cost, but you know, it's still fine. You still do some okay damage, right? Next weapon, your melee weapon, is the Gustav Karl Beam Saber, which is 2,800 damage, and I'm pretty sure the downswing is not the typical Federation downswing. It has that similar feel to it, where it's just like a diagonal slash, right? And it does do some chunking damage. Like I said, 2,800 damage, and that's the initial damage. And like I said, I've only gotten a few melee parts on. I'm still doing good damage against these suits. So if you're doing a melee build, yeah, you will cleave them in half pretty much. Now onto your secondary weapons. You have the 60mm Vulcan gun, which is 120 damage, 60 rounds, and 150 range. And these do stun in 25 hits, but of course it's not really that reliable at 650, where everybody has a instant stun weapon like 3 times over. So it's probably not the best idea to run at somebody just shooting your Vulcans only. You probably want to mix it up with other weapons if they have something like shock damage or maneuver armor. Of course, you can also use these Vulcans as they're intended for, where you can just shoot pilots. I say intended for, but honestly, with how high the damage is, you can use this to... I mean, that is one of the other intended uses for this, is to finish off low health enemies as well. But you know what I'm getting at, right? Where they say in the description for the weapon, it's like, yeah, I use it for pilots and all that shit. Sorry, again, I'm a little bit tired. But yeah, it does do some... It almost one-shots... I think it actually does one-shot pilots, so there's that. And it does do some good damage, so you can help finish off low-health enemies. And for one of its future weapons I'm going to mention here, the armed grenade launcher, it can work for a good stun accumulation if you're out of your other weapons here. So yeah, it's fine. Next weapon is the, instead of having the Jagan beam rifle, you have the Gustav Karl beam rifle. What did I say that? Gustav Karl beam rifle. There we go. Which is 2,000 damage, 5 rounds, and 300 range. And yeah, this is another just basic stun. So yeah, nice little beam stun. Readies up faster than the bazooka, so you can use that for your initial stun. Or, you know, if you want to use your bazooka first, and then, you know, go into the quicker stun for a stun lock, that is possible as well. That's pretty much it. Next weapon is the armed grenade launcher, which is 1,100 damage with 2 rounds and 300 range. And yeah, it's a pretty good stun accumulation weapon. It requires both grenades to hit. It's not like the reball was where it's just a fucking instant stun. I kind of wish it was, but you know, it does take 2 to stun, and it does have a decent stun accumulation. If you just hit 1, you can kind of throw in some Vulcans to try and get a fast enough stun. Of course, you know, you have 3 instant stuns to work off of, so it's probably not something that's like top priority, right? But hey, before we continue on, timeout. Let's see what we got going on here. Mission completed. Good works all around. I see a my god, so maybe one guy wasn't happy, but hey, top assist, top damage, and I got shot at the most, which is kind of what I intended to do with this suit, because it is a pretty tanky dude. It's a chunky lad, right? And hey, first place, 3-2, and now we're on to the 700 match in Arctic base. Again, this is more of a showcase of how much this suit can just tank. It is not a show of skill. This is my first match at 700, so keep that in mind. Next weapon here is the Club Enhanced, which is 2,200 damage, 1 round, and 200 range. And hallelujah, we finally have a Sturmfaust that doesn't take a year to ready up. I don't know what is so hard about taking a tube out and just aiming it at somebody that the Sturmfaust has to take forever to ready up. I'm guessing for balancing reasons, but this is like one of the best Sturmfausts in the game, because you can just ready it up. It readies up really fast. It's faster than your bazooka. This makes it for a good stun accumulation, following up from your beam rifle, from your stun accumulations, from your I think I said stun locks. It's a good stun lock weapon after your stun accumulations from your other stuns. Yeah, it's a good follow-up, and of course it does have a decent blast radius on it as well, and it does count as ballistic, so if even though this thing does have low range strength, it still has some ballistic damage attached to it. Yeah, really good. And yeah, that's it for the weapons. Now we're going on to the skills. You have Shock Absorber level 3, Frontline Support System level 1. I believe that's 5% off if other people have that skill. You have Blast Stabilizer, so mobile suit explosions don't affect you. You have Radar level 2. You have Balancers, so of course you can stop in melee. You have Melee Combo Controller, that's 2 melee swings. You have Ambac level 2. You have Maneuver Armor level 1, so that way you can boost and take a few hits. You can take a few instant stuns, right? You have Force Injectors level 2, so you can boost back and forth a little bit more. You have Enhanced Tackle level 5, so your tackle will actually do some decent damage. You have Damage Control level 1, so this actually is a pretty nice skill. That means it takes usually suits that have good stun accumulations. Like, let's say the Delta Plus. Delta Plus will take, 2 hits on its beam rifle to stun you. Well, now it will take 3 because you have damage control. That works really well with the Maneuver Armor because you can stop both Maneuver Armor, or I'm serious. Like I said, I'm very tired. With Maneuver Armor and damage control, you're stopping both instant stuns and stun accumulation at the same time. You have Left Shoulder Buffer level 2. I mean, obviously that's where your shield is. It doesn't count as a shield, unfortunately. So yeah, that is a buffer. Well, actually, no, it's probably a good thing it doesn't count as a shield because it's part of the active guard, right? I believe, actually, I think that's 15% less damage when you get hit in the shoulder area, the shield area. You have Leg Buffer level 3, and finally you have Active Guard level 3. So this is different from the other active guards. You probably noticed it throughout this match, and probably even the last match, where it actually has a faster time to activate compared to the other active guards. Now, if you played the Full Armor Mark II, or Full Armor Gundam Mark II, or the Jesta, there we go, the Jesta, typically when you're boosting, and after you get done boosting, you can't instantly activate active guard. And whenever you're fighting somebody in melee range, like, somebody melees you, or, shoots you, it takes a little bit, you have a bit of a delay before you can act out of your active guard. This suit can, as soon as you stop boosting, you can activate active guard. So you have Maneuver Armor and Damage Control, and then you can just stop your Maneuver Armor and go straight into active guard, which is insane. You can do a lot of debating with this suit where you can boost towards somebody with your melee out, and then just suddenly stop and do your your active guard to either tank a tackle or maybe try to make them, obviously make them tackle, or if they're gonna shoot you at the last second, you can tank that, or they're doing their melee. Also, by the way, I just tanked that unicorn's typical combo, which felt very nice, by the way. Yeah, the active guard is really good, and because it has a faster, it gets out of the delay faster. That means you react faster out of melee as well. So that means it's not like with the Full Armor Mark II, where if somebody touches you while you have active guard, you're not just watching them as they walk away for free, right? You can kind of sort of get back at them. And obviously, I believe, stat-wise, you will take 80% less damage when you get shot. Now, if you get shot in the shield, because you have a buffer, the buffer is 15% less damage. If you get hit in the shield while you have active guard, that is 95% less damage taken. That is insane. That is high survivability if you're really good at using the active guard. And you saw me tanking unicorn combos, tanking Zaku 4 combos, and obviously, if you've seen, actually no, I don't think I have a video of it, but if you've seen stuff with the Former Mark II, you can already tank the Phaz, right? In this suit, you just take even less damage. So yeah, that is active guard is a really good skill to have. Now, unfortunately, you don't have dodge roll, though. So I guess that will lead us into the pros and cons of this suit. And starting off with the cons, I guess I'll say it doesn't have a dodge roll, and you are a bigger suit, right? You're kind of a, like I said, you're a chunky suit. So you'll be a big target for a lot of people, a really easy target to hit. And if you're not using your active guard or your maneuver armor, if you get stun locked at 650, you're going to be tanking, well, I mean, technically you will be tanking damage, right? But you'll be taking a lot of damage. You know, you have stuff like the Rebawu with its 3 instant stuns. You got, you know, people with multiple melee combos, like the Rebawu again. Or, you know, like the O. You know, if people are running the 650 Polinoke, you know, all that good stuff, they will stun lock you. You know, all that good stuff is 650, right? So obviously, if you're not using your skills to their advantage, then you'll be in big trouble. Another downside for this suit, a little bit of a small one, it's just that your walking speed is slow. That's pretty much it. Another one is not necessarily that you have weaker legs, but because of how big this suit is and how meaty the legs are, you will be taking a lot of damage to your leg area. So you might have moments where your legs will be close to breaking at some parts. And yeah, that's happened a few times, even with 25,000 health. Sorry, just using the active guard, you know, just people walk up to downswing and you just tank it. Well, going on to active guard as well for not really too big of a downside either, is that the if you're not careful with active guard, stun accumulation can go through. Now, of course, you have damage control level 1, right? But let's say the Delta Kai shoots you twice while you're, you know, with its beam rifle. We already established that the Delta Kai will stun you in 2 hits, right? Actually, real fast. Mission completed. Let's see how we did. Probably got shot at a lot. Yep, 23% diversions. Hey, I managed to beat my rival, but we'll see what placement we got. Probably not too good. Yeah, 5th place, 3 and 2. But you know, that's directly in the middle. I'm fine with that, especially, you know, since it's 700. But yeah. Now going back to what I was talking about. So let's say the Delta Kai, the Delta Plus. You know, we established it takes two beam rifle shots to stun. If you're an active guard and you take those 2 shots and then you deactivate active guard, and he shoots you a 3rd time, you will get stunned. So make sure you're kind of aware of how much stun accumulation you're taking. Now, if he shoots you 3 times, then it resets, right? Because you just took the stun accumulation. You took the stun that was supposed to happen, right? And it'll reset on you, so you won't get stunned when you deactivate active guard. So just be a little bit aware of that. That's how, or you know, maybe they fix that. Because I know that's happened to me when I was playing the Full Armor Mark II, so I don't know if that's something they tweaked at all. So if they did fix that, that's good. Now for some pros, first of all, this suit is tanky as hell. You have high stats already with 39 beam, 32 ballistic resistance, 25,000 health. The only thing that's not tanky is your melee resistance. And the reason I didn't put melee resistance on the downsides for this is, or you know, the cons area, is because you can easily just buff that up. You know, I think I will go ahead, just in case, you know, there's some players who probably don't have all the melee parts, so I think I'll go ahead and still put the 15 melee resistance in the cons, but I'm also gonna for me, I'm going to ignore it, because if you do have your melee parts on, the 15 melee resistance, it goes away fast. It becomes a non-issue. And combine all this together along with active guard with the potential 80% less damage to 95% less damage, yeah, you'll be tanking so much during a match. There's moments where I've just been shot at by 5 different people, and it hardly leaves a dent in the suit. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how much you can tank with the suit, and it makes it a absolute wall, and a very necessary one where you can push up a front line with this suit, where everybody, you're absorbing the enemy team's stuns, their stun resources, I should say. If they shoot a bazooka at you, well, a bazooka has a ready up time, right? Well, okay, well, they shot you, and, well, you have a stun ready for them as soon as you get out of active guard or your teammates are there, and they're kind of defenseless. Or, let's say if you're a Faz and you just wasted 20 seconds of your life just to fire at a Gustav Karl and do 2,000 damage to him because he active guarded, you're using your mega cannon, right? Your meme beam. Well, yeah, you just wasted 20 minutes. 20 minutes feels like 20 minutes. 20 seconds of doing damage just to do 2,000 and not really harm the Gustav Karl. So, yeah, this suit is really tanky. That's a really good thing. Another pro for this suit is that you have multiple stun options. You have stun accumulation as well. So you have 3 instant stuns. They're all, not all ballistics. One's beam, 2 are ballistic. You have a stun accumulation that's pretty alright. It takes 2 to stun. You have Vulcans as well. That it's not the best stun option, but you still kind of have them. Good for finishing off low health enemies, and you have a good melee as well. You'll be chunking health, right? It's as chunky as you are when you're. That sounded kind of rude because I'm calling you chunky. I mean the suit, right? The Gustav Karl. But yeah, there's probably some more stuff. But then again, like I said, I am very tired. There might be some stuff I might have skipped, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. Subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And, type up in the comment section how you feel about the Gustav Karl. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And honestly, I do kind of love this suit. If it's not good in the near future, that I still think it would be a really fun suit to play. And I think it's worth doing the half off for this suit. I believe it's, 15 tokens? So, 50% off. You're wasting less tokens on this. I actually got it from the half off. It was the first thing I got, funnily enough. And I actually really like it. I think it's a really fun suit. I think it provides a unique play style to 650. I say unique, we had the Jesta for a while, but again, like the way the active guard works on this suit, because it's level 3, it makes it fare better because you can boost while, or immediately use it after a boost, all that good stuff, right? You can act out of it faster. I think it's a pretty good suit, and it'll be interesting to see people that actually learn how to play this suit and see how good they can do with it. Because there's been plenty of times where you can mind game somebody. I've had plenty of times where I've mind gamed somebody using the active guard and just making them just waste all their resources trying to stun me. It's hilarious. But yeah, that'll be it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.